everybody, I'm Alex Cavitt, and I'm going to be the audiologist for the case study today.
I'm Leah Bednarczyk. I'm going to be the mom of Daniel, who's 3 months old.
Daniel was found to have a hearing loss at the hospital. He failed his newborn hearing screening, and the doctor referred him to a geneticist because there wasn't a family history of hearing loss, so it was really odd.
There wasn't any complications in my pregnancy with my child. It was planned. I didn't use any drugs. I didn't drink alcohol, and there's no family history of deafness.
So they went to the geneticist, and these are the results that they found.
Okay, when I went to the doctor, they told me that I needed to go see a geneticist for Daniel. The geneticist found out that Daniel has connexin 26, which is a mutation on the arm of the 15th chromosome. The JGB2 gene, which produces the protein called connexin 26, was altered. The connexin 26 protein maintains potassium levels in the cochlea, and without this protein present, potassium levels increase, which causes a sensorineural hearing loss. I was told that connexin 26 is responsible for 20% of all genetic hearing losses and 10% of all childhood hearing losses. Daniel will not have any other issues. It's only an isolated hearing loss. He's not doesn't have an increased risk for any other medical problems. So the result of the testing came back with a profound bilateral sensorineural hearing loss.
Back.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How's the geneticist?
Well, I found out that Daniel has connexin 26, and it's this really confusing disease almost. But I'm just kind of wondering what to do next.
Well, after we performed the hearing screening and found that he had a bilateral sensorineural profound hearing loss, there are two options. Unfortunately, Daniel won't hear normally ever.
But will he ever be able to get help with hearing, I guess?
Yes, there are two options. Really, technology has advanced so much. They have hearing aids are one option, and then cochlear implants, which is another. Hearing aids you may have heard of. They actually amplify the sound that comes into your ear. That's pretty much all they do. You can have certain settings for certain placements, but it does just amplify sound.
What's cochlear implants then?
A cochlear implant is definitely different than a hearing aid. A cochlear implant doesn't just amplify sound; it encodes the sound. So it is a surgical procedure to where a electrode array is put in the cochlea of Daniel's ear. That's where all the hearing sensation is, and would go to the brain. And so these electrodes are put in, and can be stimulated through electric waves when signals come to the transmitter. It's a little more difficult to receive because it is costly, but it's a definite option because Daniel would qualify since he is of age and has such a profound loss.
So would he hear through his ear then, or would it go differently?
Technically, he wouldn't be hearing through his ear. The sound would go through it, but with a cochlear implant, it's more of like an electrical signal as opposed to an auditory signal or like an acoustic signal. He would have to have auditory training to learn how to hear for sounds and determine which sound is which. It's definitely a process. Hearing aids, you definitely would hear through your ears because it's just amplifying sound with a microphone.
Can he go swimming? Can he be a normal child?
There are technological advances now to where if a cochlear implant was used a certain type, they do have waterproof cochlear implants, so you could go swimming. hearing aids can be removed, so he can just take them off if needed, or you can take them off since he's young.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah. After, I guess that is a big thing you need to think about. It's a lot of information. But something else you might want to think about is the mode of communication.
Yeah, obviously I don't know sign language because I've never been around a deaf person before, so
Yeah.
I feel like that's something I should learn, maybe.
Yeah, it just depends on the mode that you choose. One popular mode of communication that deaf people use is American Sign Language, or ASL, and it's just pretty much signs on the hands. It's using like your body language and like positions and how you move your hands to tell words, and they have the alphabet and stuff like that that you can learn. If you choose to do that, I would recommend that you learn sign language because it would help Daniel feel more accepted into the family, and as opposed to being like the odd man out having no hearing. So I would recommend that.
Well, will he be able to talk at all to communicate?
If ASL is chosen, there isn't really a focus on verbal language. It's just on the hands, I guess. But another mode that a lot of people choose is oral, which is basically just speech. So it's using like a cochlear implant or hearing aid to optimize like auditory listening, and using that to use, I guess, normal speech and like connect with the hearing world.
Is there a way that I could do like both things? Because obviously he's hopefully will have deaf friends and hearing friends. So
Yeah.
what would I do with that?
There is a popular communication style called total communication, to where it kind of mixes ASL and oral. So there is a component of hand signing and verbal usage. However, sometimes it can be difficult because some people don't sign the same as others, and speech isn't as clear because there is another mode to use. You can, if you don't know how to say it, they can sign it. So it's kind of, they just pick the mode which is best at the time. So it can be used in both deaf and hearing communities, which is a benefit, but there are also drawbacks too. There's a drawback and a benefit to every mode.
Got it. That's a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, I'll for sure have to learn ASL, but I don't know about what's going to be determined after that.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about schooling? What am I supposed to do then?
That will come at a later time, obviously, because he is so young. But there are multiple different options for Daniel. I'm not sure if you want to mainstream Daniel, like put him in a regular public school.
Yeah, I don't know yet. That's a long ways away.
Yeah. But there are ways to, if he's capable and is able at that time to mainstream into a school, there are definitely public schools with the resources that can help him become the best student and grow to his potential. But there are also, if you're interested in residential schools, which are more focused on deaf students, they have completely deaf classes and they sign ASL, and he would be surrounded by deaf individuals at all times. There are schools like that too.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a good option, I think, but I mean, we're planning on having more kids, so if they're not deaf, it might be a little bit weird for them to go to different schools.
Yeah.
So I feel like a public school would probably be a more liable option.
Yeah. I guess just see how it goes, see how Daniel progresses with either, if you choose a hearing aid or a cochlear implant, just see where that goes and see how he progresses.
Okay, I mean, we can come back. Obviously, we'll be back.
Yes.
And we can come back when it's closer to school age. So, we can figure that out later on, I guess.
Yes, please don't hesitate to call and ask if you have any questions or concerns. I know this is a lot to take in right now. So just breathe and it will all work out, I promise.
All right. Well, thank you so much for all your help. Learned a lot today, and can't wait to see what the future holds.
Me too.
Okay.